How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Podtastic here, and welcome to another Podtastic video. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 Pokemon cities. Now, this isn't a topic that is really discussed a lot, so I thought I'd be one of the few people to give it more attention. But before we begin, I need to clarify some things before we begin. First off, I'm only going to be talking about Pokemon cities, not towns. If this video does well, I'll make another video about the top 10 Pokemon towns. Or, I'll just make it anyways because I love Pokemon. And second, I'll only be talking about these cities as how they are portrayed in the main series games, so no talking about how they are in the anime. It just makes things easier to do things. With all of that being said, let's get on with the video. So at the bottom of this list, we have Canalave City. However, being at the bottom of the list doesn't make Canalave City a bad city by any means. In fact, it's one of my favorites. Despite its small size compared to other cities in Sinnoh, there are a lot of things that make this city great. According to its map description, Canalave City is a port city that is bisected by a canal, which makes sense because Canalave City literally means cargo port. It's also nice how they made Byron the gym leader of the city, a steel type gym leader, which also makes sense, because steel is like a type of cargo and all of that stuff. In terms of what the city has to offer for the player, well, there's a move deleter, which is very helpful if you want to get rid of some HMs. And let's not forget the Canalave City Library, which has a lot of Sinnoh lore mythology to learn about. I know that might not be the most interesting thing to everybody, but I find it fascinating. There's also the fact that you have access to Iron Island as well as New Moon Island, the place where you can encounter Darkrai. Overall, a pretty underrated city, which is why it's number 10 on this list. So at number 9, we have Hearthome City. What? 2 Sinnoh cities in a row? Yeah, I know. But just hear me out on this one. This city really is the heart of the region. I mean, no, literally, just look at the map. I kid you not. It's literally right in the middle. Besides the amazingly catchy music that plays in the background, Hearthome City has tons to offer, as it is the 5th largest city in the Pokemon world. One of the biggest attractions in the city is the Contest Hall, a place where you can participate in Pokemon contests. Not just a place, the only place in Sinnoh where you can do this. This is exactly why I wanted to exclude the anime from this, because there are multiple places in the anime where contest halls are, so it would be a little bit too confusing. Along with the contest hall is the Poffin House, where you can feed your Pokemon delicious Poffins to boost their contest stats. If contests are your thing, there's still other things to do in the city, such as travel to Amity Square with your Pokemon, which is pretty awesome considering everybody loves the same feature in Heart Gold Soul Silver. Of course, the Pokemon fan club and the gym, there's all of that, but guys, let's get to the main reason why Hearthome City is great. Only in Platinum, when you go into the house right next to the Pokemon Center, Bebe will give you a free Eevee. I know it doesn't have to do with the city specifically, but a free Eevee is just way too good to pass up. You guys should know by now my love for Eevee, and if you don't, now you know. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Point is, Hearthome City is a very dear city to my heart. That didn't happen. I didn't make that pun. For number 8, we have Saffron City. Now, an interesting thing that I learned while doing research for this video is that Saffron City is actually based off of Tokyo, Japan, making it the largest city in Kanto. The city is pretty big with lots of things to do. The Fighting Dojo is a nice place to go if you want some experience and you get a free Pokemon from it. Well, depending on what game you're playing. In some games you get the free item, other games you get the Pokemon, but it's nice nonetheless. If you head over to Mr. Psychic's house, you can get the TM for Psychic. It was a pretty great TM right there. You can challenge Sabrina, the gym leader who uses Psychic-type Pokemon, and as long as you can get through that warp puzzle, everything should be all good. The largest building, not only in Saffron City, but in Kanto as a whole, is Silphco's headquarters. Now, Silphco is a company that produces things like Pokeballs and of course the Silph Scope. And let's not forget the whole Team Rocket invasion thing. But like I said, As long as you know the warp tile pattern, you should be fine. Then there's a magnet train station, which allows you to travel from Kanto to Johto, which is, pretty convenient. But yeah, other than that, that pretty much explains Saffron City and its place as number 8 on this list. Aha, you thought we were done with Sinnoh, but no, we're not done, because it's time to talk about Jubilife City. For starters, Jubilife City is known as the City of Joy, but no, it gets better. It's the home of the Pokédex company, which means you can get a whole bunch of Pokédex apps right there. How amazing is that? It's also home with Jubilife TV, so if your dream is to become a TV star, look no further. Most notably, however, Jubilife is where the global trade station is located. Right away, you can access the GTS. Well, as soon as you have the Coal Badge anyway. It's all so great, which is why it's number 7 on this list. To be completely honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Alola region or the cities, but I gotta admit, Hau'oli City is pretty live, and excuse me for my pronunciation, I haven't really seen the Sun and Moon anime, so I really don't know how to pronounce it. I really do apologize. Anyway, similar to Jubilife City, it is known as a city overflowing with gentle joy. With a beachfront, a marina, and a shopping district, this coastal city has a lot to offer. The shopping district includes things such as the Alola Tourist Berea, which has some useful items, the salon, which have different styling options based on your gender, the mall, which has a ton of items you can purchase, and most notably, the apparel shop, a place where you can buy new clothes. There's also Mele Mele Ferry, which also allows you to travel between islands. There's a lot of things that can be done in this city, but I think you get the point. Being the largest city in Alola, it's also the city with the most things to do, granted it the number 6 spot. Coming in at the halfway point is going to be Slateport City. Now this city is known as the port where people and Pokemon cross paths with nature, which just sounds amazing. In my opinion, people sleep on Slateport City, which makes me sad because there's a lot of things that this coastal city has to offer, most notably the Seaport Market. This market has tons of goodies to pick up, such as Pokemon dolls, RMs, Energy Guru, and more. There's also the Ocean Museum. While not having anything to offer except TM for Thief after you beat one of the evil teams, it's really pretty. It only costs 50 cents to get in. Not a bad deal. Other places of interest include the Pokemon Fan Club, Captain Stern's Shipyard, Slateport Harbor, the Name Rare, and last of all, the Contest Hall / Battle Tent, depending on what game you're playing. Plus, the music is very upbeat, which is very nice. But let's move on. Okay, so I'm kind of cheating for the number 4 spot by putting 3 cities in here, but they all serve the same purpose and have similar designs, so I think it's okay. So, the cities in this spot are Veilstone City, Celadon City, and Goldenrod City. So what makes these cities so similar? Well, all 3 cities have a game corner, an evil team hideout / takeover, whatever you want to call it, a department store, a gym, and a gift Pokemon that you receive. I know. Pretty insane, right? These cities are usually the cities where players spend most of their time and money, of course, because department stores. They aren't just replicas of each other though. Each city has something that makes it stand out. For example, Goldenrod City has the radio tower, while Celadon City has nothing unique. Yeah, sorry, I kinda lied there. Veilstone City doesn't have really anything different either. This is awkward. Anyways, these cities are all great, which is why they share the number 4 spot. Nimbasa City. This city really did surprise me. There is literally so much to do in this great city. From the music theater to the battle subway. You can literally spend hours in this city and not get bored just by the sheer amount of activities that are available. I mean, they don't call it the shining city where lightning sparkles for nothing. I mean, it really is that good. Other features of the city include the Battle Institute, the Ferris wheel, the big stadium, and small court. And of course, let's not forget the gym. This is a great city to waste your time if you love extra activities other than just Pokemon battles. Now guys, number 2 is going to be Lumiere City. Now, this beautiful city is based off of the beautiful city Paris, which explains why it has a Pokemon version of the Eiffel Tower. In fact, Lumiere City is in fact the most populous city in the Pokemon world. Now let's talk more about the size first. It has 5 exits, meaning there are 5 ways to get into this city, the most of any Pokemon city. That's pretty crazy. And if that wasn't enough, the city has 3 Pokemon centers. You heard me right? 3. It can be hard to find specific places due to how large the city is, but that just makes it all the more fun exploring. Now I could go over every little thing you could do in this city, but like I said before, it would take forever, so I'll go over the most noteworthy things instead. The cities are divided by boulevards, north and south respectively. North Boulevard has the Lumineers Museum, the Battle Institute, the Goliath Stand, and lots of plazas. South Boulevard has the PR Video Studio, Professor Sycamore's Lab, and more plazas. Lumineers City is honestly one of the most realistic cities with all the plazas and restaurants, which is why I like it so much. Before we go to number 1, I just wanted to give an honorable mention to Phoenix City from Pokemon Coliseum. It's not in the main series Pokemon game, but it's just too pretty not to mention. Plus, the music just so calm. If there was any city I would want to live in the Pokemon world, it would be here. Anyways, on to number 1. The number 1 spot has to go to Castelia City. This city is basically the Pokemon equivalent of New York City, so I don't even need to tell you how big it is. There is just so much to do in this city, it's ridiculous. And I apologize for repeating myself again, but I can't possibly list every single thing that the city has to offer. So let's just get into the most important things. God, where to start? I mean, well, there's a battle company, which you can participate in multiple battles and stuff, get some experience. Game Freak headquarters, which doesn't really have much to offer, but it's still a nice place to go just to, see people making the game and meet the actual creators. And then of course there's multiple piers and streets which you can just go down, talk to a lot of people and get a whole bunch of items. Not to mention all of the TMs that you get. You get a lot of TMs in the city and you're just going to be getting a lot of things in general. So just, have fun exploring. There's also Central Plaza, which is another nice area with lots to offer. Overall, this feels like a complete Pokemon city, and it's why it's number 1 on this list. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content. Thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you have a podtastic day.